Hello, hello, hello. All right, so today we're going to be talking about avoiding our money. So if you're someone who avoids looking at your money in any way, you're in the right place. That's what we're going to talk about. So stay tuned. Hey, 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 welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. If it's your first time, Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. I'm Coach D, your financial coach, and I want to help you to reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoy life in the process. So today we're going to talk about stop avoiding our money. Hi, whose comment is that? Hey, thank you for tuning in. Hi, ladies. So today's topic is avoiding money, but before I jump into that, I want to quick, something I experienced. So I want to talk about it for a moment. So, most people don't know, but I had a drunk driver who drove down the street of I'm in a rental home due to the fire, but our rural home, a drunk driver drove down the street and she hit three parked cars, came back up, and then hit the back of our house as if we need anything extra, as if we need anything else to do, right? So today I experienced, I got in touch with her insurance finally. They had no idea what happened. She told them that she hit a medium. They didn't even know she hit the house. They didn't know that she hit three other cars. Thank you. They didn't know anything. So for me, what was like the headache was the money she has available with her policy, like what she decided to sign up for. If she were to be in an accident, her coverage was $10,000. What is $10,000 going to do? How's that going to cover the three cars and our home? Not going to work. So, because of that, I don't know which month, but because of that, things that are happening, I'm going to spend some time talking about insurance and everything I've experienced, everything I've learned so that I can just help everyone else. So what I went through just and explain it. So just to we learn things as we go through it. So as I'm going through this, I'm learning a lot of things. So I'm definitely going to touch on the car insurance thing, definitely the home. So what I'll do is after the fire stuff, after we're back into our home and I've completed the entire process, I'm definitely going to do a series on the whole house fire. Like it's so much, there's so many different things, there's so many different pieces that I wasn't aware of, that I'm learning, that there's just, I want to call them tricks, but things that, happen, that people experience. So if I can help someone in any way, that's what I want to do. So once I'm back in my home, I will do a series on the whole house fire and how to go through that with the homeowner's insurance. And then with the auto, I can kind of talk about that once I find out how we're going to move forward because there's a couple options now. But again, once I get through that completely, I can definitely explain, all the different things. Like just today, that was so shocking, like $10,000. I'm like, what the heck? So, it just causes different things. So it's just a matter of like, okay, so am I going to have to go through my homeowners and get a claim and then increase our homeowners when we're not even at the house? Like that's crazy. So yeah. So anywho, we'll talk about that. I know that wasn't today's topic, but just because I just experienced it, I just actually right before I hopped on live, I just was outside with my contractor. I literally hurried up and came upstairs from for house stuff. But just earlier today, I spoke with her insurance company, her auto policy. So yeah, hey, thank you for tuning in. So that's why I wanted to say that and share that. We'll definitely talk about insurance and just get into that. So let's talk about avoiding our money. So most people don't have issues with their money. It's more a matter of avoiding it. When you know something happens or you're afraid of what you might see or it makes you stressed or you know something might have happened, but you don't want to see it, so you avoid your money. So today I just want to encourage you not to do that. Sometimes we are doing it on purpose, like intentionally. I'm not looking at that because I don't know. I might have $2 in there. I don't want to see that, you know. But seeing it will help us be prepared for it, or maybe if we have something that was going to be coming out soon, maybe we can give them a call, like, "Hey, can wait till Friday when I get paid," instead of getting a fee and things like that. So I don't know. Most people avoid it for different reasons. Like, maybe you weren't taught to, hey, look at your money. Don't be afraid of it. See what you have going on and look at it. Some people they just weren't taught that. They didn't experience that. They didn't see their family doing that. It was bills coming in and just sitting them down and I'm gonna look at them. So let's talk. I'm gonna go over a couple scenarios of people who avoid their money. So what they might do. So um, just what I was actually just talking about, your bank account. So sometimes you might not look at your bank account. So you're just like I just said, I probably have like $2 in there. I don't want to look at it. So you don't log in, you don't check and see. You just don't want to see it. So you're kind of playing roulette. You're playing not roulette, but you're gambling with your money by not looking, because you're going to cost yourself more money by not looking. And you might not look until you get an alert from your bank that says, "Oh, you're in overdraft." Oh, I'm listening, taking my dogs for a walk. All right. You might not look. You might not look until you get an alert, which makes you look and find out after something has happened that you could have prevented, and you have that extra fee. Then it's wasting money. You could use that money that you're going to pay on the fee on something else, and it's not like you can try to get it back. Some banks or financial institutions, and rather than have a bank, might give it back. Some might not. So it's just wasted money. So take a look and don't be afraid. Pull the band-aid off. When you do that, something can come out automatically. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. And that's actually the next thing I'm going to talk about, automatic pay. So having things on automatic pay and not looking at your account, it's like wishful thinking. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, is the money in there? Is it going to be in there? Is it in my other account? And maybe might not be because you don't have a lot of money. I mean, like a little bit of money. It could be, I have money in this account, money in this account, money in this account. I might need to just move the money to this account so it's available for the automatic pay. So it's not always, and I don't want people to think that either. It's not always that I don't have any money. Your money may not be in the right account, because a lot of times in our mind, we want to save, we have a plan for our money, and we are putting stuff in this account, this account, this account, because this is for savings. And then, we can't afford to save that much. So we end up pulling that money out to put it back into the other account. Then we got to shift things around because I got 3 bills coming out of this one, 2 bills coming out of this one bill coming out of this one. And I don't have enough money in these accounts because I'm not actually spreading them properly. Now you may have a few things. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, so with the auto pays, it's important to know when they're coming out, how much is coming out, so you can be prepared for it and have the money in that designated account. So when it does come out, you are prepared and have the money. You don't have to have fees. You don't have to get alerts, and you're not trying to put it in late and just putting yourself in that game. I had that happen to me, had something come out yearly. I forgot about it. Yes, 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 yes. It's important to write those things down. You can set reminders. You can put it in your 2026 financial planner, because I know you have one. You can put it in there. In the front, there's a yearly calendar where you can put things that happen once a year. So you can put those bills that come out once a year. So you know what date. You can put the amount. That's what I use it for. I know my Microsoft comes out in April. I put it in there. I believe it's April 11th, but I put it on there when that's coming out. My website fee, I know when that's coming out in November. It's important to know these things. And sometimes we know them. Like right now, I'm calling them out, but I don't know all of them. I don't remember all of them. So you could forget. And not only forget that, but also rates change. So knowing the date is important, but it's also important to know how much is going to come out. The same thing that came out last year might not come out this year because everyone's raising all the prices. So maybe you paid $99 last year. It might be $119 this year. So you could be being prepared for that automatic pay, but you weren't not completely prepared because it wasn't the correct amount. So that's why it's important to check and look at our stuff. Don't be afraid of your money. Just pull your open your eyes up and just look at it. Let's see. I'm good now since I have my calendar. That's right. That was a while ago, but still worth mentioning. Absolutely, and that helped me to talk about it for others. Credit card statements. So you could have someone who you could be someone who your credit card statements come in, and you look at them and say, "Oh, this is Capital One, or this is um, Macy's. This is whatever you might have," and you might just throw it on the table. Oh, I'll look at that. I'm not opening that right now. I'll look at it later. Then you don't look at it, but looking at it, you might see some things that might help you. Sometimes your bills are always at the beginning of the month. Maybe the last couple of months it was due on the third. This month it could be the second. You don't know. So you need to open it up and look at everything. Things change. Your minimum could have been $40 last month, and then this month maybe you went shopping. Maybe your interest increased, interest rates change. So maybe your bill could be higher. Again, this is something if you're automatic pay, and you don't want to not be prepared, or if the date changed and um you're not prepared financially, you don't have that much in your bank account, you need to move money around. I have on here money conversations. So this is something I experienced in my community. I had a financial community last year. I pulled it to an end when I went on maternity leave. I closed it because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get on as frequently. And then right when I was about to come back, then I had the house fire. So that's going to be actually coming back in March, but that's not what I was trying to say. But in the community, what I noticed that a lot of people, when we're on our group calls, some people would sit there and not want to say anything and like listen to people talk about their money and not say a word and just sit there. You don't have to be shy about it and just think about it. Everyone's there to improve their finances in some way, and not talking about it, it could be something that you're experiencing that someone else already experienced that could help you, or it could be something you just flat out ask, like, hey, this is happening. Do you know what I can do? If you don't talk about it, sometimes you can't get help, you can't improve, you can't have things change. So don't be afraid to talk about it. A lot of people have things going on with their money, and when I say that, I don't mean people are poor, or I mean, if you don't mean any harm if that's the case, but like, you don't have a money issue, you have a money management issue. So not talking about it, don't feel a way about it. There's ways to correct it, there's a way to fix it, there's a way to get to the other side of that. But if you don't talk about it, you're avoiding it, you're not looking at it, you can't fix it, you can't prepare for it, you can't get yourself together, you can't get to the peaceful side of your finances. And that's what we want to do. So always look and check it out and see what's going on. Don't be afraid of it. I have on here, payday feels like a relief. So someone who avoids their money, your payday could feel like a relief because it's like, whew, I have some money coming in. I won't, have to have a little bit in this account. But then also, it could be quite the opposite. You have the relief feeling that money's coming in, but then a stressful feeling like, okay, so now I have this money coming in, but I don't have enough to pay everything. Okay, so what bill's going to wait? Or what bill am I going to have to call and say, or what bill something might have to get cut off? Like, whatever could be happening. And this all comes from not looking at our money, because if you're looking at your money, you're able to see like, hey, this check I had extra money available. This check I didn't have as much available, but I had more bills this check. So you could save some from this check for this check to pay all the expenses, so that it works out for you by looking at it. So that's why this topic I felt was so important to just speak on, looking at our finances. Don't be afraid to look at it. I promise you. In the beginning, it might be like, oh Lord, but once you do it, once you get in the habit of it, because don't look one time, then you come back and then you're starting all over again, because now you got things together, you got your plan together, and then you just didn't look again. So that gives time for things to kind of spiral out, go crazy, or you're unaware of things. Like what she spoke about is the annual bill coming out. Being prepared. Take a look at your finances. That's good information. Yes, ma'am. That's why I feel like this was a great topic. So this month I'm focusing on love your money. That's February's topic, love your money. So starting to love our money is Stop avoiding it, looking at it, loving what we have so we can improve and benefit from our money so we can do what we want to do, when we want to do it, how we want to do it. And we do that by having our finances together so we're not wasting any money on any fees, for not having it in the right account, not having enough money in this account, or, whatever it might be, or preventing overdraft fees, or seeing that you were overcharged for something that you can get your money back, or seeing that, just different things. There's so much that can come from actually looking at your finances. And I don't always mean your bank account, of course, your credit card statements, different things. If you're using, like, I went to a, a drive through with one of our friends on Sunday, and she had Apple Pay. Now that's something I don't use. So I was like, what are you doing? So I, being not familiar with that, of course I have to learn so I can, talk about it more often. But your cards are attached to that. Maybe you could forget, oh, I used that. That's going to be coming out my account. It didn't come out yet, but it might be coming out soon. So just thinking about different things. So, that might hit her statement later. Whereas looking right at her Apple Pay, she can see her transactions. So when I say looking at your money, you're looking everywhere your money can be found. Your accounts, those apps, like the Apple Pay, the Cash app. There's so many of them. Venmo. There's so many of them. But just look at all the things, because again, those things you could have pulled money from, but it didn't come out of your full account, your actual financial account. So you need to look everywhere so you know what's going on, because it might not show pending. You might think you have something you don't have. And that's what I mean by just looking. And it would take like 10, 20 minutes to look, depending on how many places you have to look. If you don't have a lot of places to look, it could take you 5 minutes to just check. If you're checking more frequently, you have less to look at each time you look. Sometimes they double charge you. Exactly. So looking at it not only will help you prepare for things, but actually could save you. Just like when you go to the grocery store, sometimes they are like swinging, or dragging, and they might, ring something, twice. And I'm sure not on purpose, but if you're paying attention, you could use that money for something else. Keep it in your account. So a question I would like for you to think about, ask yourself, what money number do I avoid the most? That's a big one. So ask yourself that, sit and think about it. Or maybe you might know, oh, I avoid looking at my credit score. I don't want to see that. No, whatever it is, think about what that money number is that you avoid and work on looking at it. Set a date to go look at it. As soon as you think about it. Maybe tonight. Maybe tonight you can start with thinking about what the number is. Maybe tomorrow you can actually look at it. Another question you can ask yourself, what do I think I'm protecting myself from by not looking at that actual number, the number that you felt was the number that you avoid the most? What do I think I'm doing by not looking at it? Can I give some examples? A number that you avoid. I know there's a delay, so you might have put that in after I said, like, not looking at your credit score, not looking at your total debt number. And shout out to, I'm not going to say who you are, but someone let me know that they did. On the last slide, we talked about writing our total debt number down. She actually did it, shared the number with me. So proud of you. But when I challenge you guys to do stuff on these lives, I'm challenging you because I want you to truly do it. We come, we talk. I want you to do it because it benefits you, and you won't realize it until you actually do it. And again, looking at our numbers. So, but a number that you could avoid is looking at your total debt. You could avoid looking at how much savings you truly have. You could be avoiding looking at if you're, employed, you could be avoid looking at your retirement account. You could need to look at that too. Most people have your job. You don't check it out until you're 2 seconds from retirement. Then you're so concerned. By then, you don't have time to, if it's not what you want it to be or not as high as you would like it to be, you don't have enough time last minute to try to build it really fast. So looking at it early, looking at it in your 20s, looking at it in your 30s, looking at it in your 40s, you're able to see, okay, so if I add $100 every month or $100 every check, that could build up not only the money you're putting in, but the interest, which your company might be matching. Starting earlier, you can do things like that. So, you know, don't avoid numbers. Avoiding them, it could be helping you by looking at them. So, and take it serious when you ask yourself, what do I think I'm protecting by not looking at this? What am I doing? Because really, ultimately, we're most likely setting ourselves back by not looking at it. So important. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then, like I said, the community's coming in March, but that'll be task number one. Every month there's a challenge. Every month we're focused on different topics. Everyone who's there for the first month, guess what? We're getting all our numbers together. We're going to see we're looking at everything. Yes, we are. But if you're someone who avoids your money and you want to just take a look at it, I have a free download. Go to enhancingyourfinances.com. It's a 5-minute financial health check, which I give you a list of numbers to insert into the document. Page 2, I'll give you equations to use with those numbers I gave you on page 1. Page 3, you'll see your answers, and it just tells you what you should be working on, what's doing good, what's not so good. Okay, so you're here, you should be doing this. You're here, you should be doing this. So I highly recommend, if you're someone who doesn't look at your numbers, you're not looking at your money, download that. Download it for free. Get started. Get a starting point. If you're someone who, I'm ready to not only get my numbers, but work on my numbers, join the waitlist for the community. I don't know if I even put that in my link in bio just yet. Shoot. If you're on my email list, I might have sent it out. I'm talking about it, but I don't even think I put any links out for it yet. So if you're on my email list, I'll send it out this week. If you're not on my email list, I'll put it in the link in bio tonight. It'll be on there by 7 p.m. So you can join the wait list to learn about the community, what we'll be doing, how we'll be doing it, and just get ready. Just get ready. And the community is called Wisdom and Wealth because I want you to have the wisdom to know what you should be doing, how to do it, when to do it, so you can create that wealth. All right. So we will continue with our topic for this month of loving our money next week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. on YouTube, where we are every single week. So I'll see you next week. Go look at your money and answer those questions. If you forget, rewind it, watch the replay. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up so I can have some likes on my video. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you for being here. I hope that you learned something that's encouraged you in some way to improve your finances. All right. So I will see you next week. Have a great evening.